Hello and welcome to Vietnam Journal, our daily English news bulletin on NETVIET VTC10. I'm Ngọc Ánh speaking from Hanoi. Every day we'll bring you comprehensive and up-to-date information about Vietnam and following our major stories on Monday. Japan to build $1 billion supporting industrial park in Hanoi. Vietnam selects Standard Chartered as sovereign credit rating advisor. And we'll get to know an Irish holiday celebration in Hanoi. Two Japanese companies, including N&G Development and Investment Corporation and Shimizu Corporation, signed an agreement on Friday to develop the first supporting industrial park in Hanoi. The industrial park has total projected investment capital of $1 billion.
Under the agreement, Shimizu will cooperate with N&G to develop the supporting industrial park in the south of Hanoi, along with a residential area for workers. The park will be based on the expansion of an existing industrial zone. N&G said the park, with the total area of 650 hectares, will be an industrial complex with urban transportation and trade centers, among others. After being put into operation, the park is projected to accommodate 200 supporting industrial enterprises of mechanical engineering, textiles, and footwear, among others. In recent seminars, Japanese experts have suggested Vietnam develop industrial parks combined with urban areas in the Japanese style.
And following is some other economic news in brief. Japan has recently signed an agreement to provide a $34 million grant for a project to develop e-customs in Vietnam. Under the project, Japan will transfer its e-customs technology to Vietnam and help Vietnam build its one-stop customs mechanism. The project is scheduled to be completed in 2014. It is important for Vietnamese diplomats to foster financial cooperation between Vietnam and other countries. Vietnamese financial authorities delivered the message on Friday during a meeting with newly appointed Vietnamese ambassadors and general consulates. The financial leaders emphasized the need for financial cooperation agreements with Europe, where only two countries have just reached such agreements with Vietnam.
The Netherlands SDC Group, or Shipping and Transport College, and Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu University signed a memorandum of understanding on training cooperation in the southern province of Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu on March the 22nd. Under the MOU, the two sides will establish a joint venture company which will provide training in shipping services and logistics. SDC Group will support Bà Rịa Vũng Tàu University in running the company for 5 years. In the first 3 months of this year, Vietnam exported 49,200 tons of coffee to Germany, totaling more than $100 million, according to Vietnam customs statistics. In February alone, its coffee export value to this market rose sharply to $66.7 million. With a population of 81.3 million people, Germany is one of Vietnam's major coffee importers, as reported by Vietnam Customs. Last year, Vietnam shipped 135,900 tons of coffee to this country, totaling $300 million.
Vietnam has recently signed an agreement to select the UK-based Standard Chartered Bank, or SCB, as its sovereign credit rating advisor. The agreement followed a memorandum of understanding sealed earlier between Vietnam and the United Kingdom on financial cooperation. Under the agreement, Standard Chartered Bank will support Vietnamese financial authorities in working with global credit rating firms, including Moody's, Standard & Poor's, and Fitch. SCB will boost the exchange of information between Vietnam and the rating firms, thus enabling them to make accurate assessments of Vietnam's economy. SCB will also provide Vietnam with the sovereign credit rating experience of other countries. SCB is expected to reduce misunderstandings between rating firms in Vietnam. Vietnam reported some $50 billion of sovereign debt at the end of last year, equaling 41.5% of its GDP. After the signing of the Sovereign Credit Rating Advisory Mandate letter, we had a conversation with Mr. Louis Taylor, General Director of Standard Chartered Bank Vietnam, about the landmark agreement. Mr. Taylor, thank you very much for spending time joining our interview today.
It's a pleasure.
The first question is, what are the specific actions to be taken as Standard Chartered Banks takes the role of the advisor to the credit rating improvement scheme of Vietnam?
Well, I think actually we've already taken some of the first steps that we should take as an advisor. And I think that it is reasonably universally acknowledged that the Vietnamese government is not a great communicator to the international markets. And so the first thing we have done is we have sponsored some media communication courses for State Bank of Vietnam personnel and Ministry of Finance personnel to help them to understand how better to communicate the policies of the Vietnamese government and the State Bank. So that's the first thing we've done. But essentially, what this mandate is about is helping people from outside of Vietnam to interpret the data about Vietnam in the correct way. Without proper guidance, it's very easy to add too much weight to some bits of information and not enough to others. So what we want to ensure in our role as advisor is that those undertaking credit ratings on Vietnam understand the whole picture in a balanced way and to ensure that that is communicated properly.
Vietnam has selected the UK and particularly Standard Chartered as the advisor to a very important program to improve its sovereign credit rating. So could you share some experience of Standard Chartered in working with other countries with somehow similar situation as Vietnam's, particularly countries in Asia?
Yes, I mean I can cite two examples straight away, Bangladesh and the Philippines. Where we have been the sovereign credit rating advisor in both of those countries. And in both of those countries, over a period of time, and this doesn't happen overnight, over a period of time, the credit ratings of those countries have stabilized and then started to move up again. And particularly in the Philippines, just 2 months ago, we were the lead manager on a 25-year, $1.5 billion bond issue by the Philippine government. And for the Philippine governments to issue 25-year bonds, that's quite a tall order. In these markets, it's even more challenging. But this was an incredibly successful issue because the credit qualities, not quality, but qualities of the Philippine economy were better communicated to the investor community and to the rating agencies.
Vietnam is implementing a series of tough restructuring measures in its economy, particularly in the finance and banking sector. So what do you think of the impact of the restructuring efforts on Vietnam's sovereign credit rating prospect?
You're right. The Vietnamese government has outlined 3 very big strategic objectives for this term: banking restructuring, state-owned enterprise restructuring, and improving the efficiency of state investment. All of those 3 initiatives absolutely should positively impact the credit worthiness of Vietnam as a country. The planned restructuring of the banking system, the plan was published 2 weeks ago with the approval of the Prime Minister, and that is a plan which in every way I think people would support, everybody would support. And if that plan can be achieved strongly, and a banking system that is strong, liquid, well capitalized, the risk management is good, if that can be created in Vietnam, then it will unquestionably be positive for the country's credit rating.
Thank you very much, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you.
Vietnam Journal. It's not just news, it's life in Vietnam.
Welcome back to our news bulletin. American violinist Sarah Chang, one of classical music's most captivating and gifted artists, will come back to Vietnam this April. She will perform in the 16th Hennessy Concert Series in Hanoi on April the 12th.
In the 16th Hennessy concert, Sarah Chang will conduct the Vietnamese orchestra and perform the work for a season of the famous composer Antonio Vivaldi. This is the second time Sarah Chang performs in Vietnam. She first came to Vietnam in the 14th Hennessy concert series in 2010. Sarah Chang is considered as a prodigy of the classic music. In 2009, she was awarded a Very Fisher Prize, one of the most prestigious prizes for musicians. Hennessy Concert Series, which debuted in 1996, is jointly organized by the Vietnam Performing Arts Agency and Merritt Hennessy.
St. Patrick's Day is a fun day for all Irish people all over the world, no matter how many percent of Irish blood they have. The holiday is always associated with a green color, from clothes, decorations to beer and food. The way people celebrate St. Patrick's Day slightly varies in each region of the world. Let's see how they enjoy the celebration here in Hanoi.
Most people write about a person that they love. Talk with bated breath how they send from up above. But as I grow older, I can see things so much clearer.
St. Patrick's Day is a fun day for all Irish people in the world, no matter what percent of Irish blood they may be. The holiday is always associated with anything green, from green clothes, decorations to beer and food. The way people celebrate St. Patrick's Day slightly varies in each region of the world.
People write about a person that they love. Talk with bated breath how they send from up above. But as I grow older, I can see things so much clearer. The person I love the most is staring back from the mirror.
It depends on what city you're in, but in Montreal we have a big parade that we have with green things. And here, there's not much like as far as like street parties, but there's all kinds of different little venues of stuff going on.
Here at Puku Bar, people have a chance to enjoy different genres of music, including Celtic folk songs, pop songs, and all other kinds. And the night will not be fulfilled without some Irish food.
You know what? I would say the only traditional St. Patrick's Day cuisine is probably beer. Although I'm not even drinking beer right now, but yeah, definitely beer.
Well, beer is not the only St. Patrick's Day food served at Puku Bar. Maybe this visitor has not tried the special menu here yet.
So this is a traditional beef Guinness pie. It's a heavy beef stew with Guinness inside, mixed together and then served inside a case of pastry, puff pastry. Here at Puku on St. Paddy's Day, we serve this with French fries or chips and some salad.
There are different reasons why foreign expats come here. Some just want to enjoy Celtic folk music, while others want to try out Irish food and learn more about Irish culture. Or it is simply a pretext to hang out with friends.
You can't have a good St. Patrick's Day celebration without nice people.
This year, St. Patrick's Day falls during the weekend, making the Irish-owned bar in Hanoi more crowded and merrier than ever.
Well, the story about St. Patrick's Day celebration in Hanoi has wrapped up our news bulletin today. For comments and feedbacks, please send us an email to netvietdaily@gmail.com. Thank you for watching. We wish you a happy new week and see you again tomorrow.